Hey, this is Tracy Lewis from Stuffin' Things. Hub is moving. Sorry about that. I am here with this week's 8th installment of Winter is Coming Wednesday. Time actually ran away with me, and I did not get done everything I had hoped, and had a couple of other things come up during the week. So today I am actually going to do what I said I wasn't going to do, and that is I will do a part 2 of last week's, and we'll discuss the options for the 5 card fronts that I made last week. And I'm going to show you the different sizes that I've trimmed them down to. I did some different treatments, and we'll show you the options for the bases that they can go on. So the first one is the simplest one, and it is the soft suede. It just has some speckles and just the craft ink with no gel pen. It is very soft and very simple. So in this case, I have the 4 backgrounds for it. I can do a tone on tone, which I like really well, and keep it fairly simple. And then there's some very simple embellishing that I plan to do. I have either this bow, I have the belt buckle that goes on, slides on this trim, and I can also use the braided linen that's been knotted, and then I undid the braiding. This will be kept nice and simple and perhaps very masculine if I go with the trim line with the belt buckle through the trim and not use a bow. Even this knotted linen thread will make a nice masculine card. I haven't gotten as far as any kind of gems putting on it. It will be something simple, like maybe just pearls. I could put this on early espresso, and let me get rid of and if I did the early espresso, which I don't like it as well, I would do something with an early espresso trim. I could make a little knot and put that's way too big, but put a little knot there. I wanted to show you guys that the white doesn't really work for me because there's not enough white in the image. You'll see later images where I did add more white, and then the white becomes a favorite. So that is, there's one more color. I wanted to show you this crumb cake I also like as a background. If I go with this background, I definitely will opt for this nice, simple, knotted treatment. So that is my most casual card of the bunch. The next one was as casual, and I decided to show you guys a full range of options, and I went ahead and took this image, which just has a little bit of crumb cake on it. It's very soft, a crumb cake of the craft white ink on it, and it's very soft, and made even softer with the embossing folder, dry embossing folder that I put on it, which is the textile texture. And I have the same backgrounds, just for comparison's sake. I probably will not go with a tone on tone. I definitely do like the knotted linen trim, which I would possibly even use on both of these that I've shown you. The white doesn't really work for me because there isn't enough of the white to show. I do really like the early espresso, which will look better if I show you on the white. So this might be the way I go with it. And then crumb cake, soft suede might be my lesser of all of the evils. Not too light, not too dark. So this might be the way I go with it. And I'm not sure on this one if I want to go into decorating it further. It might be that I will consider adding a couple of die cuts. I'll show you the shapes later. I could trim this down more. This one is the one that I am the least set on what I would want to do. Okay, so then I took, and now we're going to go a little bit further into decorating, and I made one that looks really good on the white. So I will show it to you because this one is pretty set what I want to do with it. So this one, I did some doodling around the edges. I added, this is the one I demonstrated adding the white to. And white gel pen in both sizes, the fat, the point, or the 10 or 10 of the jelly roll, and then the 05, which is the thinnest. And then I added this is a 1/2 inch trim in white. It comes as a combo, and I'll have it in the supplies list, and I really like it, just knotted. And I have some really cool white embellishments that I will show on a later project. It's actually a set of embellishments that are for Christmas. And I like because they're flat and they're a matte surface, which I really like with this matte looking white ink that I used. And here they are. Sorry, I took a moment to get them out. All the trimming embellishments, these white dots, are the ones that I will show you on a later project that I'm thinking of adding. In fact, it's the next project. So I'm thinking of adding a couple of these onto this project as well. If I even this one here that I said I'm going to add a little bit more to it, I believe would be these flat, and they're flat rather than domed. So this one I like really well. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 that are more avid level projects. And this particular one, I have added some cut down vellum square doilies. I made them behave like an edge. I then went ahead and did a soft sponging using the finger daubers to sponge around the edge lightly. I also added those white matte flat dots I've just talked about. And then for color on this, originally I was thinking I liked the early espresso, but for some reason it just looked like it was too much. So I then tried a tone-on-tone crumb cake, and that was pretty good. And I didn't do any dry embossing on the background. I'm just wanting this foreground that has the subtle embossing folder. But I thought it just really needed a little bit more, but not as much as the early espresso. So this is the color that I am going to go with. And I'm going to pop this whole panel up with dimensionals. I am not going to add any trim, though now that I'm looking at it, I could potentially do a very simple, this knot just seems to be the thing to do with this layout. I could do that and call it finished. So that's probably what I will do. All right. Let me know your thoughts. If I am picking the wrong color for you, I realize that everybody is different. Ironically, Hub, who likes more color than less color, agreed right away about the early espresso not being the right background. And when I showed him this soft suede, he liked it the best. So I thought that was interesting. He's always the one, more color, more bling. And then my final card actually is the most avid and the one I like the best. It uses the sponges that you buy, and I cut them into fourths, maybe even fifths, and then it's a really chunky, spongy grain, so that when you do your swiping, you can see the texture of the sponge coming through. I used pure re-inker and made it super dark, and then this piece in the background is actually speckled because it's the bottom part of this main background that I created while you guys watched. And it has gel pen. It has the in color dots in honeybee and cinnamon cider, and this background is cinnamon cider. It uses the wheat color on color for the background, and I did not want any textures, which is rare for me, because the texture is all done on this little focal element. These leaves are from Gather Together the dies, and they have a little pattern, a leaf pattern on them. And then this little wood element, which is called In Good Taste Elements, and you get 3 wood sheets. It actually has like an engraved texture to it as well. And this one is my favorite of the bunch and the most elaborate. And where I told you I may add more to this one, I may look at a leaf treatment with these leaves. I'm not sure yet. I might leave this, or I might trim it down and do some different things with it. So this is the only one that I am just unsure whether I like it that simple or if I need to keep going with it. So hopefully this will help you guys with kind of my thought process of how I go through and do. I don't like doing a lot of repeats, so all of my cards I like to do a little different. It's just the way it makes crafting fun for me. And I will have all of these supplies in the list, and then next week we will start off fresh with a new set of cards. I have some things in mind. If my busyness doesn't settle down, though, I do have a backup plan of showing off and talking through some of the shaker cards that I actually don't believe I videoed at all last year. I think I did maybe a photo showcase only. So I think I might walk through those if I need to. And so, have a great week. Hopefully you're enjoying getting these Christmas and Thanksgiving ideas to you early, and if not, they will be here waiting when you're ready to do them. Thanks for watching. All of the products you've seen demonstrated today from Stampin' Up are available on my store at stuffandthings.com/shop, which redirects you to Stampin' Up. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I can sell to folks in the U.S. only. Before you go, please like this video, leave your comments, questions, and suggestions, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more card making tutorials.